Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome to another little weekly live. Just a couple of minutes late today. Sorry about that. Just was on a bit of an important call looking after somebody. And I'm just going to turn this off, my phone off, so we don't get distracted. All right, but big important topic today, and that is when you have got over 20 weeks and you're in that over halfway phase, which is just so cool. And women will often say, oh, I'm over halfway. And I think in reality, for the whole journey of pregnancy, you could kind of, for the size of the mountains that we climb, it's probably more realistic to say that the first 20 weeks is like the first third, actually. And then the second 20 weeks is like the 2/3 of the journey, because it's just there's a whole lot more going on in this second half of the pregnancy, especially once you get up to well beyond into that third trimester, when you get past kind of 32 weeks, and everything gets more full on. But what I want to talk to you about today is the kind of things you need to be thinking about, and when you are around that, over 20 weeks, so you're kind of 22, 23, 24 weeks, somewhere in there. All right, and I've got a little bit of list because there's quite a list. Okay, so get a pen and paper. You might want to, if you're not watching this live, or go back later and watch or listen to the podcast where you can pause it to write some of these things down. So things that you kind of want to be ticking off on your list at this time. That's what I think is, firstly, visiting your local birth centre and hospital if you've got an option. So if there's an option of where you are able to labour, this is the time to go and have a look-see at them. Often these places have tours, scheduled tours in the hospitals, or the birth centres often will sort of allow you to just casually come and have a look-see. So this is a good time to be ticking that off, and hopefully you've already booked and ready to get going very soon on your antenatal classes, as well, your prenatal education. So what else do I think you should do? I think you should be really starting to nut out a bit of a plan of what's going to happen in that postnatal period with regards to particularly things like your family support, checks, visits, who's going to be coming around to assist you with the establishment of breastfeeding latch, and understanding, why babies cry and their body sign language, and learning more about infant sleep biology. All that sort of stuff is going to, because remember, this is a whole new job and you need to learn about your job before you're right there in the trenches going, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm completely sleep deprived, and this baby hasn't slept for more than an hour for 2 weeks. And you just don't want to go down there. So this is the time to be starting to learn all this information, because later in your pregnancy, you're just going to probably start to feel really tired. Okay, also I would include in that list breastfeeding skills, learning to understand the art and the science of breastfeeding, or let's say the art of breastfeeding and the science of lactation. That's probably a more appropriate, apt way to describe them, because it is a science and it is an art. Absolutely. So start to understand that, start to learn about it, start to go online, watching videos, listening to, well, in my biased opinion, getting my own Oh Baby book. Fantastic, opening guide to understanding. Now the other thing is, what else have I got here? Okay, make sure that you've had a conversation with your birth support care manager. So that's your midwife or your obstetrician, who should be now explaining to you the signs and symptoms of things like gestational diabetes, signs of preeclamptic toxemia, signs of preterm labor, all these signs and symptoms of obstetric complications you should now be getting very aware of. Okay. What else? Placental abruption, premature rupture of membranes, all these things you should be knowing about now. Because, by the time you've got a 24, 25, 26 weeker on board, if that baby came early, which 1 in 20 do, then you've got a full-on labour going on, and you need to understand what your signs and symptoms of that are. So those are the main things that I want to, and also this is the time around about that sort of 24, 25, 26 weeks is when it's very common that you'll be needing some new sets of bloods, including gestational diabetes screens or diagnostic testing. And again, all your caregiver, your obstetrician or midwife should be explaining that fully to you. Now, these live webinars here on this Facebook site are just my little mini ones, just little overviews. And I will give you the link to come through to my full webinars, where I go into this information in a lot more detail, and also that's an opportunity for people to ask questions too. So, So anyway, I hope that's a nice little overview of the things that you should really be focusing on when you're in that 22, 23, 24 kind of weeks gestation. And love you and leave you and wish you an awesome week. Bye, everybody. See you.